Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm going to open this meeting for the Polk County Board of Commissioners for Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. All commissioners are present. Announcements are on the agendas and extra copies are in the back of the room. First item up is for comments for items not on this agenda. Public speaking portion. Yes, I see I don't have you on the agenda, so yes. Oh, I did read. This is the time we were going to do this, yes.
My name is Warren Lamb. If you don't know me, I'm the president of the Board of Christmas Cheer. And I just wanted to come and thank the commissioners for your support in Christmas Cheer and the use of the Fairgrounds building. It's just an absolute perfect for what we're doing now. It's helped us to grow. And this year, our Christmas Cheer being its 59th year in operation, we were able to provide food boxes for 500 families in around Polk County, Dallas, Falls City, Perrydale, Rickreall, that surrounding area. So, but without the support of the commissioners and the use of the Fairgrounds building, it would not be a success. We had over 400 volunteers show up this year to pack out all the food that was donated and purchased. And it was, we started at 6 a.m. and we were out of there cleaned up and about 11 o'clock. So that's a lot of activity. I don't know, if you go to our website, we've got a video. It shows, you know, the motion from start to finish. It's like a whole bunch of ants doing a bunch of work, and turned out well. But I just want to finish by saying I really appreciate the staff at the Fairgrounds. Tina Anderson is just so helpful in everything we need to do. Monica and Flave, Gene in his golf cart. But like I say, everything is just top notch, and they just do a great job. But we couldn't do it without them and their grace and working with us. We had a hiccup this year. Somebody stuck some tape on one of the walls, but I said, we'll take care of it. We don't want to burn any bridges here. But all in all, it just went very good, and I just appreciate your support. Any questions?
Just, I would say to you and your bride, thank you for your leadership and your energy, for all the things that you have done to rally this group of great volunteers and folks to donate. And, you know, I'm a supporter and have been for my entire tenure here. And, you know, really do appreciate everything that you as a family have done.
Oh, thank you. No, it's a joy when you have so much help. You know, it really makes it much easier. But anyway, thanks very much. Thanks for your time.
Mr. Lamb, who coordinates all the volunteers? Because there are hundreds and hundreds. And like you said, they're well coordinated. Who does?
The board. You know, we've got a great board of directors, and you know, everybody's got a job. You know, and as far as what the best thing we can do is keep them busy. You know, and so that's when, you know, we get on the day prior. That's what's so nice to have in that facility. On the day prior, we can set everything up and be ready for the horde. You know.
Yeah.
And but it's just a matter of directing people. But I think the key to this is that everybody's there because they want to be there. You know, I mean, they're going to work with that other person, whatever. You know, it's just a joint operation where they know what they need to do, and they ask where can they go, and they organize themselves. You know, we just kind of got to point them in the right direction.
Great.
Yeah, it works good. Yeah.
I'd just like to throw in, it's amazing what our communities can do.
Oh yeah.
But it always takes leaders to organize and take that first step.
Sure.
It's amazing how many people are looking for opportunities. So
And that's you're exactly right. You know, that's the thing. We get so many calls. Well, what can I do? I said, well, just show up. You know, even if you want to just come have a cup of coffee and see what happens. You know, but it is, people do want to give. You just have to give them a shot. So yeah,
good job.
Appreciate
Thank
it. All right. Good to see you. Thanks. Yeah.
Any other public comments?
Your bride high.
All right, hearing none, seeing none. Next up is approval of the agenda.
So moved.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, passed unanimously. Approval of the minutes from December 31st.
I'll move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, passed unanimously. Approval of the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, passed unanimously. 2026 Board of Commissioners Chair selection. There has been a minor discussion, but I think that it's probably appropriate that we have an election for chair. I think that's what we've done in the past. So I would elect, so that I can get out of it, Commissioner Mordhorst to be our chair. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I appreciate we're back on the rotation with clean bills of health, and happy to serve alongside you as chair, Lyle.
Thank you. Nice to have a voice.
So to speak. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. You will take over the next following meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Election of equipment, IGA, election equipment, IGA, from the Secretary of State through our clerk. Please come forward. Make a presentation to us about what's happening and hopefully prepared for a few minor questions.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Good morning, board. Thank you for asking me to come and talk about our new piece of election equipment that we'll be receiving within the next probably few weeks, up to maybe a month and a half. The Oregon Secretary of State's office is implementing a statewide digital ballot duplication solution to help with speed and transparency of processing ballots. The project is funded through the Federal Voting Assistance Program through an EASE grant, EASE standing for Effective Absentee Systems for Election. This grant is basically to help what we call our UOCAVA voters, which stands for Uniformed and Overseas Citizens Absentee Voting Act, receive and return their ballots with greater ease. And on the clerk's office side, we'll just make it more transparent for the public on how we're duplicating these ballots. Under the IGA, the Secretary of State purchased 33 enhanced remake kits. There are 36 counties in Oregon, so all counties are participating in this, except for 3 counties. Those 3 counties are the smaller counties that we have on the other side of the state, and they just did not feel the need to one of these machines. The allocation of the kits is determined upon the number of registered voters per county. With Polk County, our number of voters, we are getting 1 enhanced remake station. The remake station is basically used for the duplication and printing of UOCAVA ballots and also the non-UOCAVA ballots. The system allows the clerk's office to print voted ballots for military and overseas voters, eliminating the need for hand duplication. The system also will generate an electronic audit log for all ballot duplications, supporting more transparency and integrity for the election. The station may be used to duplicate damaged ballots that will not make it through the machine, through the ballot tabulator via a touchscreen interface. The ballot stock can be loaded directly into the printer of this ballot remake station. The clerk's office currently purchases ballots at approximately 10% over the number of registered voters to make sure we have enough stock in for ballot issuance, replacement, and reissuance. For example, last year we spent $54,453 on printing of our ballots. My most exciting thing about this remake station is that we will be able to print ballots for the public as needed, which will help reduce the overall cost of our ballot inventory that we'll keep in stock. The IGA is effective until it expires on July 14th of 2019, unless we terminate it earlier. There is no fee associated. 2029.
Yes.
I say 20,
19.
went back in time.
It was a good year. It was a really good year.
We've had it for 6 years, but.
Yeah, but we forgot we had it. It's been done in the corner. 2029, I'll repeat that. The IGA is affected until it expires on July 14th, 2029, unless we terminate it earlier. There is no fee associated with the agreement itself. The state will fund all software, services, and maintenance through the term of this agreement. Upon the expiration of this agreement, the title then will transfer to the county, subject to federal authorization. At that time, the county may elect to keep the machine and work directly with the vendor. At that time, we, of course, would incur all the costs associated with the software, services, and maintenance. The estimated annual maintenance cost in today's dollars is about $3,000 a year, should the county decide to keep this machine beyond the terms of the agreement. To be honest with you, I have seen this machine. I have not worked on this machine. So my knowledge is limited to what I've been told through the meetings we've had and through some of the conferences when they brought this machine up. It is my responsibility to schedule all the training for the staff. So that training will come with the machine. So Cole and I will both be trained on this machine, on how to use this machine. And then obviously we'll have to have some of our boards trained on this machine as well as they do some of our duplication. I did reach out to Scott Ryder, who is the one that prints all of our ballots, and asked him how much the ballot paper is for us to be able to print some of our ballots on our own. He says it comes in a package of 250 sheets and it's $9.45 per package. So that amount does go up if we have to get the longer ballots, which next election we will. And that's 500 sheets at $20.48 per package. So I still need to figure out exactly how many ballots I'm going to have him print for us, but it will be less. And so the cost will overall be less. But I'll kind of have to play around with that a little bit to kind of see how this machine works. And so hopefully, by November, we're going to test this out in the primary. Hopefully by November for the general, I'll have a better idea of how much stock I need to keep in and how much we can print in our office. So, you have any questions?
Well, I've got a couple, and I know a couple of them the public's going to use. What is going to be required for you to print them a replacement ballot? And then what is the checklist to make sure that they don't already sent the one ballot in and they get a double vote?
So it would be the same process that we have now. So if we have clocked their ballot in and they do try to get another ballot, we're still having to print that label from OCBR. And so it's going to generate a second barcode. And so when we go to scan that barcode in, it will flag us that we've already received a ballot in. So the machine itself is only going to print a ballot. It will not print that label that we're using that ties that label to that voter and that ballot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kim, for coming to present
You're welcome.
at short notice. So I think this is a good idea at first blush because it brings the process into your office, which is much more accessible to the public than, say, a third-party printer. So I appreciate that. And just looking at the kind of fiscal impacts, I understand that the state will pay for $2,500 maximum for the lifetime of so that's essentially 1 year of.
So the $2,500 is for extra equipment that our office can purchase. So we're going to need a rolling cart. And so for me, that will be what we spend that money on. Plus, I believe that allows me some extra money for paper, the label. So with the military ballots, when that ballot comes back to me through email, it will have a barcode on it, something that I can scan. And so when I take that ballot over, I can scan that barcode and it automatically will have that ballot ready and voted on how that person voted through the system. And then I can print off a barcode, which will match that ballot to be able to put it on the ballot that was emailed. So then those ballots will go together. So I can order extra paper, extra labels. So
You can control those.
yes. Yes.
That's great. And then just one more question. The funding is originated at the federal level. So does that trigger, the uniform standards for management of equipment and things like that?
Yes.
All that good stuff. So we'll just add that to the inventory.
There'll be federal inventory tag on it and those kind of things.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
And that is per the agreement. We have to mark it with the sticker.
Get stickers.
I see no stress or sweat coming, so that seems fine to you.
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't entered panic mode yet for the election. So,
You're cool as a kid.
yep, I'm staying cool.
Those are my questions, and then I'm just curious if we're looking to approve the IG today. So I'll wait. Thanks.
Okay, so I didn't hear you tell me the cost of a new machine.
For the machine itself,
Yeah.
I don't even think
Does
that
it-
they've disclosed that because the second.
2030, you're going to have to buy it.
No,
I mean, I know no, let me finish. Thank you for your correcting me on the record. In 2029, you're likely to have to replace that machine with an updated version. It's likely to happen by then, at least the software. And again, there's going to be a cost associated with that. But if you were to say, we want whatever the newest version is,
Mhm.
Do you have any sense of what the cost of a new machine is?
They told us is no, not on the cost of the machine. What they've told us is that after the term of the agreement ends, it'll be approximately $3,000 to keep the software updated in that machine, which also includes the maintenance. It included the software, the services, and the maintenance, which should be approximately $3,000 in today's dollars. So it'll be a little bit more. So at that time, again, we can decide, is it worth the money for us to spend on this machine? Should we go back to duplicating on how we were duplicating prior to this machine?
So, I want to make certain they understand I support efficiencies and looking for ways to make certain that we're able to meet the needs of the voter. And of course, improving security measures for any new systems we add. That's why you're here today, because I'm concerned that the public is going to say, what? They're printing ballots now? And there's a reason for that. And again, you have been doing it, but through your vendor source. It just takes a lot more time. It's a lot more complex, and there's a potential you miss some. You don't get them done in time. So I get that. One of the concerns that I've had here in our discussions about how we're streamlining things digitally is that we've gotten ourselves, in some cases, trapped into this digital world that we're paying for upgrades in software and equipment across our entire system we can't get out of. We're trapped. So this is a very minor step. I clearly understand that towards what could be getting trapped in a digital world. So I'm cautious about that because, again, I am one of those old school people that say you should still be looking at those ballots and counting them. And we should still have a system in place that says everyone in the system is accountable for it. I'm curious about how do we, you said there's an election ballot log that is something is entered when you print one, right? And so who monitors that log?
So typically, we are constantly monitoring the amount of ballots that we're getting in to make sure that our numbers are staying consistent. So I plan on doing the same thing that we're doing through OCBR. So we'll
Can you define OCBR?
Oregon Centralized Voter Registration System. And that's what we use basically for all of our voter registration. And also how I set up an election is through that system. I will do the same thing with this machine. We'll be running those audit logs because we have everything basically barcoded together. It'll be easy for me to go back and look at that audit log to say, okay, today we clocked in, this many ballots. I can go look at those ballots, count those ballots and make sure. So it'll be the same process that we're currently using through our Oregon voter registration system, but it'll just be a second piece of machine that I can actually print a report off, which I cannot do now for ballots that we're duplicating.
Okay. And so can our folks who are monitoring the process audit that?
So what I planned on doing, and again, this is in like beginning stages, what I planned on doing is reaching out to the parties when I get this machine and once we're trained on it and having them come in and watch us, process, a couple ballots to show them, what it's doing. Because we are live streaming now and we do get a lot of questions in of, what's this, what's that, and so hopefully that'll eliminate them when they're watching us, work during the primary election. They'll know exactly what the machine is, what we're doing, what it's for. So that is my plan, is once we're trained on that machine, I need to think of a way where I can, maybe have, ask them if I can maybe have some dummy ballots or something that I can put through for them to show them how we can do this.
So I'm guessing that this is something that should be a part of the training protocol that the state would provide you with. Again,
The vendor is providing us with the training.
My concern is about we all are as trying to be as thoughtful about transparency as possible.
Yes.
Again, it's just it's minor. I get that, but it is one of those places where we can have folks that are concerned that the county has an ability to do some things that they can't see. So I want to make sure that. And then lastly, is there some kind of code entry process to operate this machine? So for example, if you're the one printing, is there some annotation in that ballot log that says you're the one who did it?
To be perfectly honest, I'm not for sure, but I would be highly surprised if there wasn't. Okay. Because, we're having to log into OCBR, and even if I, run a report, it has my name on it. So I am pretty confident to say, yes, we're going to have some kind of, in place, some kind of audit log that I know who processed this ballot. Yeah. And I also want to throw out there that even though I'm able to like scan in a military ballot and that machine is supposed to exactly replicate it, I'm still going to have a double check procedure. I'm all about double, triple checking to make sure that that machine did indeed transfer those votes how they should have. So I'm still going to have human eyes on those ballots to ensure that that is the case.
Perfect. Well, I'm sorry for the scrutiny. However, with all of the things that are happening with ballots and voting procedures across the country, and even though we've been just as clean and golden, I think, as anybody could be, these are the kind of things that make us all worry that they're, especially if it's a federal government, say, here, have this new machine. Did you ask for that, by the way?
No.
Okay.
No.
So again, my tinfoil hat's fitting a little tighter right now, a little bit better, because you didn't ask for it. The federal government said, here, this will help you.
Yes, the Secretary of State applied for the grant, and through the grant, this is how they opted to spend the money, was through the duplication process, so.
Well, and I will
We'll see
tell you,
who's
Kim,
getting it.
I appreciate the statement you've made is that you have the option. I hope you're here when that option comes around.
Me too.
Yeah, and that you have the option to say, don't care, don't need it, it's not helpful.
Yes.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens as we go along, because
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to throw out there again, all of you are welcome to come up during election time. If you guys want to check this machine out when we get it, you're more than welcome. To the public, more than welcome for any questions they have. Open, email, call me, always available.
absolutely.
A quick question inspired by your line of questioning. So there's kind of a range as to when this machine will come in. There's training. Are you able to determine for which election you can begin implementing the machine if all goes well?
The primary election is the goal.
Okay.
And that is coming from the Secretary of State's office, is they want all counties, if possible, to get this machine in and tested before the general.
Okay.
So
So if you don't. feel
obviously, if it's
comfortable,
not, I will not use it.
There's a rip
Yeah,
roaring.
if I do not feel comfortable, I will not use this machine.
Okay.
100%.
Appreciate that.
Chair, for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just for the record, how long does it take for turnaround if you have to order a replacement ballot to
Mhm.
get that ballot here on hand? And how long's that time?
So if they come over the counter, then we'll just hand them a ballot right over the counter. Through the mail, I would say on average, they call us. Let's say we can meet the deadline to get that downstairs into our mail house for the county on the same day. They should have that ballot, I would say, probably within 3 days. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Next, what is the current registered voters we have in Polk County now? What is that number?
Down. 64,216.
And I do want to commend you. Over the last couple of years, we've got a lot of scrutiny on our elections of being honest and fair and open, and you've done a great job opening your doors. And the amount of eyes that have been in your office in the last 2 elections, I just gotta say you've handled it great. A lot of those people sat there, understand just how thorough your office is, and to make sure that our votes in our elections are honest and accurate. So
Yeah, thank you.
great job. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your indulgence.
You're welcome.
Part of my need in this request was that we now have it recorded.
Mhm.
Anyone who has questions, we can suggest they go watch this video.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm glad that you asked me to come down because this was needed. Yeah, we have a new piece coming in and people are curious. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Kim.
Next up, reclass of an employee, Mr. Hawkins.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I'm here today to request a reclassification of an employee in our Community Development Department. This is actually for Justine Bova, who is currently an Environmental Health Specialist 1. We are requesting that she be reclassified to an Environmental Health Specialist 2. Justine actually, in talking with Austin, this is probably long overdue, got missed, but Justine has actually taken over much higher level duties of the position. She's handling all of the food safety and drinking water programs now for the county. So with this reclassification, we are requesting that it be effective January 1st. We would be looking at a fiscal impact of approximately $5,200 for a full 12 months, and PERS contributions are included.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Thanks, Justine.
Thank you very much.
Do we have a need for an executive session?
No, sir.
Sorry, that was dual. No?
No, no,
No. Okay, thank you.
no.
Any other business come for the board?
I did have a question. If you're signing that IGA, we need to make a motion or something for the record?
That's a really good
Do
point.
we need that?
My assumption is since you passed on today, we can put it on the consent calendar for next week.
Does that satisfy?
Good with that.
Yeah, okay. All right. Hearing nothing further, we're adjourned.